Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Lucy channel, your daily English practice podcast. I am Lucy.
And I'm Tom. Thanks for being here with us today. If you're new, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our daily episodes. We post a brand new conversation every single day.
So, Tom, how was your weekend?
Honestly, I spent the whole weekend working on one project. Just one project. A logo redesign for a restaurant client. I worked from Saturday morning until Sunday night.
Wait, the whole weekend? Like, all of it?
Yes, all of it. Every single hour. And something funny happened. On Sunday night, Lily came over and asked me, "Did you even go outside today?"
And what did you say?
I said, "No, I did not." My entire Sunday was just me, my computer screen, and a cup of cold coffee.
A cup of cold coffee? That sounds like a lot of work. How did your body feel after that?
Honestly, I felt like my body was made of concrete. My shoulders were so tight, they felt like they were touching my ears, and my eyes felt very heavy, like there were tiny sandbags on my eyelids.
Tiny sandbags on your eyelids. That's a great description. And guess what? You just used all three of today's words without even trying.
Wait, really? I did?
Yes, you said the whole weekend, all of it, and my entire Sunday. 3 different words, and they all worked perfectly.
Wow, I didn't even notice. So do they mean the same thing?
They are very similar, but native speakers choose different ones in different situations. And that's exactly what today's episode is about: how to use all, whole, and entire in everyday English.
So these 3 words seem identical, but they are actually a little different.
Exactly. And by the end of this episode, you will know which one to use. Using them correctly makes your English sound very natural.
Nice, let's get into it. Lucy, if they are so similar, where should we start?
Let's start with all, because it is the most common one. You hear it everywhere. For example, all day, all my friends, all the time. It's probably one of the first words you learned in English.
That's true. I feel like I use all 100 times every day. For example, I ate all the pizza. I spent all my money. All my clients want changes at the last minute.
Ugh, I feel that too. My students do the same thing. They wait until the last class to ask all their questions.
Exactly. And inside, you're thinking, where were these questions 6 weeks ago?
Right. But here's the important thing. We use all with plural nouns, uncountable nouns, and time expressions. Examples: all the students, all the water, all day. So all is very flexible.
So it's like the Swiss Army knife of these 3 words.
That's a perfect metaphor. All can do almost everything.
Talking about whole.
Whole focuses on one complete thing, not pieces, not parts, the full thing. For example, when I said the whole weekend, I meant the weekend as one big block of time.
Exactly. The key idea is one complete unit. Examples: the whole cake, the whole movie, the whole book.
Right.
So if I say all the cake, I'm thinking about every piece of cake. But if I say the whole cake, I'm imagining one complete cake.
Yes, you got it. All counts pieces. Whole keeps everything together as one unit.
That makes sense. It's like a puzzle. All the pieces means you are counting every piece. The whole puzzle means you are looking at the finished picture.
I love that example. That's exactly right.
Word order difference.
There is also a difference in word order. We say all the students, all the water, but we say the whole class, the whole bottle.
Oh, so it's all plus the, but the plus whole.
Exactly. Examples: all the episodes, the whole season.
So can I say whole the weekend?
No, that sounds wrong. We always say the whole weekend, never whole the weekend. And we can't say the all weekend either, right?
Right. We say all weekend or all the weekend. But that's less common. Most people simply say all weekend.
Got it. So all comes first and whole comes after the. My brain is trying to organize this right now.
Don't worry, it gets easier. Let me give you an example from my week. On Wednesday, I had to grade papers. I told Maya, I spent all evening grading. That means from after dinner until bedtime, I was grading papers. But then I told my mom, I spent the whole evening grading.
So the meaning is almost the same.
Yes, but the whole evening sounds more dramatic. It feels heavier, like I'm wrapping the evening into one big package and saying, all of this time was grading.
So the whole evening feels stronger and more dramatic.
Exactly. Whole adds emotional weight. For example, if Lily says, you were on your phone the whole dinner, that sounds more serious than saying, you were on your phone all dinner.
Exactly. When someone says the whole dinner, they're not just giving information, they're making you feel it emotionally, like you can feel it in your stomach.
Yes, it sounds stronger and more intense.
Oh, I definitely feel it. So now I'm curious, what about the word entire? Where's that word fit?
Talking about entire. Good question. Entire is like the fancy cousin of the word whole. It has almost the same meaning as whole, but it sounds more formal and more serious. You usually hear it in writing, news reports, speeches, professional situations. Examples: the entire nation, the entire population, the entire history of the company.
So it's like wearing a suit instead of jeans.
That's a perfect way to explain it. For example, if you say the whole day, that sounds casual, like you're talking with a friend. But if you say the entire day, it sounds more formal, like you're giving a presentation at work. The meaning is the same, but the feeling is different.
Okay, I like that example. So in my daily life, I might say, I wasted the whole day playing video games. But a news reporter might say, the storm affected the entire city.
Exactly. And here's a good tip for our listeners. In casual conversations, whole usually sounds more natural than entire. So save the word entire for moments when you want to sound more serious or more professional.
So if Jake asks me what I did this weekend, I should say, I worked the whole weekend, not I worked the entire weekend.
Right. If you say the entire weekend to your friend Jake, it might sound a little dramatic. But imagine you are talking to your boss. You could say, I dedicated the entire weekend to finishing this project. That sounds professional and responsible.
Oh, that's smart. So the choice is not about right or wrong, it's about choosing the right word for the situation.
Exactly. That's what helps you sound natural in English. Now let's talk about some tricky situations, because sometimes you can only use one of these words. Using all with uncountable nouns.
Uh-oh, rules. My brain just got a little nervous.
Don't worry, it's actually simple. Here's the first rule. With uncountable nouns, we use all, not whole. Uncountable nouns include things like water, money, time, information. For example, all the money, all the water, all the information. But we do not say whole money, the whole water.
So all the money sounds correct, but the whole money sounds strange.
Yes, very strange. That's because whole needs one single countable thing. For example, a whole cake, a whole day, a whole person. But money and water are not single countable objects, so we use all.
When whole works. But what about the phrase, the whole truth? I've heard people say that.
Good observation. That works because truth can be imagined as one complete thing. The same idea works for phrases like the whole truth, the whole story. If your brain can imagine it as one complete package, then whole can work.
So here is my test. I call it the box test. If I can imagine putting something inside a box, then whole might work. Examples: a day. Yes, it fits in a box. A cake. Yes. Water. No. Money. No.
I love that idea. The box test is a great way to explain it to students.
And inside my head, I'm thinking, did I just say something smart?
Yes, you did. Now here's another tricky rule. Talking about groups of people. When we talk about groups of people, we usually use all. For example, all of them, all of us, all of you, but we do not say whole of them. Really? Yes, in American English that sounds unnatural. For example, all of my friends came to the party, not whole of my friends came. Talking about places. But with places, the phrase the whole of can work. For example, the whole of Japan, the whole of Portland.
So the rule is people use all, places sometimes whole.
Exactly. All can mean every single one. There is one more important difference. The word all can also mean every single one. For example, all dogs love treats. All people need sleep. All countries have cultures.
But we can't say whole dogs love treats or entire dogs love treats. That sounds ridiculous.
Exactly. It sounds funny because whole and entire talk about one complete thing, but all can talk about every member of a group.
Practice example. Okay, let me try a practice example. My friend Jake cleaned his apartment this weekend, so I want to describe it in different ways.
Go ahead.
First example. Jake cleaned the whole apartment. That means he cleaned the entire apartment, the kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, everything.
Perfect.
Second example. Jake cleaned all the rooms. That means he cleaned each room one by one.
Yes, same situation, but a different point of view.
Third example. Jake cleaned the entire apartment. That would work if he was telling his mom and wanted to impress.
Exactly. Imagine Jake saying, "Mom, I cleaned the entire apartment." He wants praise.
That sounds exactly like Jake. Inside his head, he's probably thinking, please tell me I'm a responsible adult.
A classroom example. Let me share something from my classroom. Last week, I had a student from Mexico. She's wonderful. In her essay, she wrote, "I studied whole night for the exam."
Ah, and that sentence is wrong.
Almost correct, but not quite. She just needed one small change. It should be the whole night or all night.
Right, because whole needs the before it. So we say the whole night.
Exactly. So these are correct. I studied all night. I studied the whole night. But we should not say I studied whole night.
What about I studied the entire night?
That is grammatically correct, but it sounds too formal for normal conversation. People usually say all night or the whole night.
Common expressions. Can we talk about some common expressions? Because I think some phrases are just fixed expressions that people always say the same way.
Great idea. Let's look at a few. First expression, all day long. Example, I've been thinking about this all day long. We do not say the whole day long or the entire day long. Yes, all day long sounds natural. Another common phrase is the whole time. Example, I was waiting the whole time. But we can also say all the time, and that has a different meaning.
Right. All the time usually means always or very often. Example, she talks about her cat all the time.
Exactly. But the whole time means during one specific situation. For example, I watched him during the movie and he was on his phone the whole time.
So the difference is the whole time, one specific moment, all the time, always or very often.
Exactly. For example, if you say, I was nervous the whole time during the interview, that means you were nervous during one specific interview, from the beginning until the end. But if you say, I'm nervous all the time, that means you feel nervous very often in your life, not just once.
Wow, that is a big difference. So if someone says,
I was thinking about you the whole time. That sounds romantic because it means during one special event, maybe during a trip or during a dinner. But if someone says, I think about you all the time, that is even more romantic because it means always.
Look at you using grammar for romance. But yes, you are exactly right.
Great. Tonight Lily is going to hear very grammatically correct romance from me. The expression, the whole point.
Let's look at another common expression, the whole point. For example, the whole point of this exercise is to learn. That means the main reason or purpose. We do not say the all point, but we can say the entire point. However, the whole point sounds much more natural.
Let me try an example from my real life. The whole point of working all weekend was to finish my project, and I still didn't finish it.
Oh no, that sounds frustrating.
Yes, it really is. You know that feeling when your shoulders drop, your chest feels heavy, and you think, I spent all that time and the work is still not finished.
Yes, I know that feeling. It feels like you were carrying something heavy and suddenly you realize the finish line moved further away.
Exactly. But at least now I know 3 different ways to describe how much time I wasted.
That's the positive side of the situation. The expression as a whole. Now let's talk about another expression, as a whole. This expression means in general or when everything is considered together. Examples, the project as a whole was successful. The team as a whole performed very well.
So here we are not talking about time or quantity. We are stepping back and looking at the big picture.
Exactly. And notice something important. We only use whole in this expression. We cannot say as an all, as an entire. Only as a whole works.
The expression in its entirety. What about the phrase in its entirety? I often see that phrase in emails from clients.
Yes, that is another formal expression. In its entirety means completely, from beginning to end, without skipping anything. You often see it in business emails, legal documents, or official instructions. Example, please read the contract in its entirety.
So when my client says, please review the design in its entirety, they mean look at everything carefully, not just quickly.
Exactly. It sounds more serious and more authoritative than saying, look at the whole thing. That's the power of the word entire. It adds weight and seriousness.
Understanding words you already use. This conversation is really helpful. I feel like I have been using these words my whole life, but I never understood the differences.
And that's normal. Most people already use these words correctly without thinking about them. Today, we're just making that knowledge conscious.
So we are making the unconscious conscious. That sounds deep, Lucy.
Practice scenario. Before we continue, let's try a small practice situation. Imagine you watched a very long movie. How would you describe it to your friend?
I would say I watched the whole movie and it was 3 hours long.
Good. Now imagine you're talking to your boss, explaining why your report is late.
Then I might say I dedicated the entire evening to professional development.
Perfect. Now imagine someone asks you, how many movies did you watch this weekend?
I would say I watched all of them, all 5 movies on my list.
Great examples. 3 different words, whole, entire, all, and each one fits a different situation. And if you're listening right now and thinking, oh no, maybe I have been using these words incorrectly, don't worry. Even advanced English learners sometimes mix them up.
Vocabulary review.
All right, let's review the vocabulary we learned today.
Yes, we covered a lot of expressions. Let's go through them one by one.
1. All plus time expressions. First, all with time expressions. Examples, all day, all week, all year. Example sentence, I worked all day. It rained all week. Notice we do not need the.
Right, you would never say whole day without the.
Correct. You must say the whole day, but all day works without anything before it. 2. The whole plus singular noun. Second pattern, the whole plus singular noun. Examples, the whole story, the whole truth, the whole house. This means one complete thing.
For example, when someone tells you only part of something, you might say, "Tell me the whole story."
Exactly. 3. The entire plus formal situations. Third pattern, the entire, used in formal situations. Examples, the entire building was evacuated. The entire process took 3 months. Same meaning as whole, but more formal.
Yes, the entire process sounds like something I would write in an email.
4. All of plus group words. Fourth pattern, all of plus group words. Examples, all of us, all of them, all of my friends. Whenever you talk about groups of people, all is usually the best word.
Like saying, "All of us here at Talk Lucy channel appreciate you listening."
That was very nice. 5. The whole time. Fifth expression, the whole time. This refers to one specific period of time. Example, I was nervous the whole time.
And remember, this is different from all the time.
Exactly. All the time means always or very frequently. Example, he complains all the time.
Or my dog Biscuit begs for treats all the time.
Yes, every moment he is awake. 7. As a whole. Seventh expression, as a whole, meaning overall or in general. Example, the experience as a whole was positive.
This is useful when you want to give a general opinion without explaining every detail.
8. In its entirety. Eighth expression, in its entirety. This means completely from beginning to end without skipping anything. Example, please read the contract in its entirety.
Yes, this is a professional phrase. You would never say "in its wholeness" in this situation.
9. All equals every. Ninth use of all. Sometimes all means every single one. Examples, all dogs are good dogs. All roads lead to Rome.
And in these sentences, we cannot use whole or entire.
And finally, the whole point, meaning the main purpose or reason. Example, the whole point of practicing is to improve.
Yes, and sometimes people say it with frustration, like, "That's the whole point."
All right, that was a great discussion about all, whole, and entire.
Now we have a question for you. Which word do you use the most? All, whole, entire. Try writing one sentence using each word.
We love reading your answers.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
We'll see you tomorrow with another easy English conversation.
Keep learning,
Keep practicing.
and keep giving it your all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.